And yeah. When I was a little girl, I'd scrape the earth with my bare hands, dig so deep into it that I'd find a pile of dirt, cupped in my palms so close to disappearing like quicksand. I'd run to place it in the sift my grandmother gave me. The sift my grandmother gave me in the backyard of my grandmother's house. I called that house a castle because there were peacocks on the roof that bowed down whenever I walked out. I felt like a princess. Royalty. The kind where I was crowned for my discoveries, the kind where I'd separate the finer pieces of dirt from the jagged rocks and call those jagged rocks precious stone. The sift served to lift the pieces of the earth that had weathered more storms, the pieces of the earth that pricked us when we were dancing barefooted, but we didn't mind. We were dancing in our bare feet anyway. My grandmother, in her crimson sari, would say at the end of every day, "Come here, come in." She gave my precious stones, my wild imagination, a home. So how is it that 20 years later, I end up down here where I have so many latitudes and longitudes claiming to separate the finer things from the rougher ones, but where I feel like everything is on the wrong side, like the windows to the restaurant that sells the most delicious food but only serves to remind the most of us that we need to be a little bit more refined to access the finer things in life. Like you can't be too loud, too much dirt underneath your fingernails, like you need to be a little bit more polished. Not jagged. So many latitudes and longitudes, but not much intersectionality, like the coordinates of my city that separate people by color, like the lines separating the images on my phone, 3 by 3, where everyone's figured out how to carefully extract and display the perfect smiles, which is strange to me because off screen I don't see that many people smiling these days. I sift through people's faces, wondering what lies beneath. How exhausting it must be to spend so much time curating and painting just to fit something into a square. Make sure it can be framed before you dare call it art. Don't you dare dance like a whirling dervish. Because when one is truly dancing through life, it will look like a blur from afar. It will rarely ever make sense on a screen, and so no one dances anymore. They sift through the dirt only to keep the dirt. Because in the coordinates of my current world, jagged rocks don't always have a home. In the coordinates of my current world, most of the precious stones are a little lost. I once was a little girl in a castle who learned that the price of discovering gold was dirt underneath my fingernails. 20 years later, I learned that the price of nail-polished fingernails is being light years away from that gold mine on the other side of the globe. Thank you guys.